One shocking fact: after the age of 60, nearly 50% of adults are already living with significant muscle loss, a condition doctors call sarcopenia. It doesn't strike suddenly like a heart attack. It creeps in quietly, year by year. Every 12 months, the average senior loses about 1% of muscle mass, and over a decade that can mean losing up to 1/4 of total strength. That decline turns once simple tasks, standing, walking, lifting, into exhausting challenges. The most alarming part is that few people are ever told the truth. While everyone worries about blood pressure or cholesterol, it's muscle loss that steals independence first. And the fuel you give your body each morning can either slow it down or speed it up. Why we lose muscle after 60. Doctors call it sarcopenia, but most people simply notice their body feels heavier, slower, and less reliable than before. Research shows that by age 65, almost everyone begins to lose muscle at a faster rate. And this isn't just about appearance. Weak muscles change how you walk, how steady you feel, and how confident you are when moving around. The decline starts quietly. At first, it's just a little more effort to rise from a chair, or a pause before bending down to tie your shoes. Then carrying groceries feels harder, or you find yourself gripping the railing on the stairs. These are small signals, but together they point to one truth. The body is losing its foundation of strength. What makes this so concerning is how muscle affects more than just movement. Muscles support posture, cushion the joints, and help pump blood through your veins. When they shrink, balance is lost. Bones face more pressure, and circulation slows. That is why so many falls in older adults are not caused by tripping, but because the legs no longer hold steady. I've often seen people surprised when told that losing muscle can be as dangerous as high blood pressure. Yet, it makes sense. Without strong muscles, independence slips away. Simple routines like walking to the mailbox, gardening, or standing in the kitchen become challenges. And once you move less, the loss accelerates even more. A downward spiral that few realize until it's advanced. Another overlooked factor is silence. Doctors, news reports, even family members talk about cholesterol and sugar, but rarely about muscle. That lack of awareness leaves many unprepared. They think weakness is just normal aging, when in fact, it's a medical issue with preventable roots. What truly matters is that this process doesn't have to continue unchecked. Lifestyle choices, particularly food and activity, can slow or even reverse muscle loss. That's why focusing on what you put on the table each morning is so powerful. Because the muscles you protect today are the very ones that will keep you standing, walking, and living independently tomorrow. How the Japanese preserve muscle naturally. In Japan, breakfast has never been seen as something quick to grab on the way out the door. It's treated more like a ritual, a moment of calm before the day begins. This quiet rhythm sets the stage for nourishment that supports not only energy, but also long-term strength. When you look closely, the traditions around breakfast explain a lot about why Japanese elders often remain mobile well into their 80s and 90s. Instead of rushing with coffee and toast, the table is set carefully, often before sunrise. A tray might hold rice steaming gently, a bowl of miso soup giving off warmth, and chopsticks placed with intention. To an outsider, it looks simple, even modest, but the balance of protein, minerals, and probiotics is powerful. The philosophy behind it is called shokuiku, an approach that connects food with health, harmony, and respect for the body. This is where the difference lies. In many Western countries, meals are measured by calories or portion size. In Japan, the focus is on balance: warm and cool, soft and firm, light and nourishing. The idea is not just to fill the stomach, but to prepare the body to move with ease throughout the day. That mindset alone changes how food supports aging muscles. Science today confirms what Japanese culture has practiced for generations. Studies show that protein eaten in the morning is better used for muscle repair than protein eaten later in the day. By starting the day with tofu, natto, or fish, the muscles receive the building blocks they need immediately after rest. For seniors, this timing can make the difference between maintaining independence or losing it slowly. I once spoke with Mrs. Tanaka, a retired teacher from Osaka, who explained that her family never skipped breakfast. For her, miso soup wasn't just food, it was a foundation. She told me that after her husband turned 70, his legs stayed strong because of the same steady morning meals they had shared for decades. Whether or not every scientist would agree, her story reflects the lived truth of many elders across Japan. Another important detail is the way food is prepared. Portions are modest but complete. A little protein, a little grain, a little vegetable. That variety ensures the body gets multiple nutrients at once, something a sugary pastry or cup of coffee cannot provide. Eating this way also trains the appetite, teaching the body to feel satisfied with balance rather than excess. The cultural practice of sitting down and eating slowly also plays a role. When you sit with your meal, chew carefully, and pause between bites, digestion improves. Nutrients are absorbed more efficiently, and the body has time to register fullness. For older adults, who often struggle with reduced stomach acid or slower digestion, this approach makes protein and minerals easier to use. Western diets often lean on convenience, but convenience comes at a cost. Skipping breakfast or replacing it with processed foods robs the muscles of their chance to recharge. Over time, that habit compounds, and weakness shows up sooner than expected. The Japanese model demonstrates that small, steady investments in the morning can pay off with decades of strength. It's also worth noting the emotional side. A calm breakfast reduces stress, which matters more than people realize. Chronic stress raises cortisol, a hormone that accelerates muscle breakdown. Starting the day with peace, gratitude, and nourishing food lowers that stress response and protects the body in subtle but powerful ways. What's fascinating is how this tradition aligns with modern advice on aging well. Doctors now recommend higher protein intake for seniors, as well as more fermented foods for gut health. Japan has been doing both for centuries. The result is a population with some of the highest life expectancies in the world, and elders who often remain active far beyond retirement age. This doesn't mean you need to copy every detail of a Japanese breakfast. The deeper lesson is about rhythm and intention. A boiled egg, a warm bowl of soup, even a handful of beans can serve the same purpose if eaten with focus and balance. The key is to choose foods that help your body rebuild instead of foods that break it down. So while the rest of the world debates new diets and miracle supplements, Japan has quietly held on to a simple truth. Muscles are not only built in the gym, they are preserved every morning at the table, bite by bite, day by day. And that quiet wisdom might be exactly what older adults everywhere need to remember. The Japanese breakfast that rebuilds muscle. If there is one dish that quietly carries the strength of tradition, it is miso soup. At first glance, it looks far too simple. A warm broth, soft cubes of tofu, and a touch of seaweed. Yet this modest bowl has nourished generations and given older adults the resilience to stand, walk, and work long after many in the West would have slowed down. What makes miso soup powerful isn't just taste. It is the science and intention behind every ingredient. Miso itself is a fermented soybean paste, rich in natural probiotics that support digestion. For an older body, gut health is crucial. Without proper absorption, protein and minerals pass right through. A healthy gut ensures every nutrient counts, and miso helps create that foundation. Tofu adds another layer of quiet strength. Unlike heavy animal protein, tofu is gentle but rich in amino acids. These amino acids are the exact building blocks muscles crave after age 60. Modern studies also highlight isoflavones in soy, compounds that protect bone density while supporting muscle recovery. For someone feeling weaker legs or slower movements, tofu offers nourishment without strain. The addition of wakame, a type of seaweed, makes this bowl even more complete. Wakame brings calcium, magnesium, and iodine, minerals that help muscles contract and nerves send signals properly. Many Western diets overlook these nutrients, focusing only on protein. But the truth is, without magnesium or calcium, muscles cannot perform no matter how much protein you eat. Wakame fills that gap naturally. Some households also enrich the soup with extras like shiitake mushrooms or a soft poached egg. These add flavor, but also provide extra protein, antioxidants, and B vitamins. Each detail, though small, makes the soup more than food. It becomes medicine in the most natural sense. And that is something Western culture often forgets. Healing doesn't always come from a pill bottle. I remember reading about Mr. Yamada, a retired farmer in Hokkaido. In his late 70s, he had begun losing strength and feared he could no longer tend his garden. His wife prepared miso soup every morning, not out of habit, but as a deliberate act of care. After weeks, he noticed steadier hands and stronger steps. He often described the soup as a kind voice waking his body. That perspective shows how food is not just fuel, but comfort and recovery combined. From a medical standpoint, this makes sense. Breakfast sets the tone for metabolism and muscle repair. Starting with a warm, protein-rich, easily digestible meal ensures that the body begins the day in an anabolic state, meaning it builds instead of breaks down. That single shift can slow muscle loss dramatically over the years. In the West, we often believe strength comes only from exercise. But exercise alone without proper nutrition leaves the body vulnerable. The Japanese approach teaches that muscle is maintained in the kitchen first, with the gym playing only a supporting role. This is a mindset shift many older adults need to hear. What also stands out is the emotional effect. Eating something warm and gentle tells the body, you are cared for. For seniors who may live alone or struggle with health, this message is as important as the nutrients themselves. Food becomes both physical support and emotional reassurance. So while miso soup might look like a humble bowl, it holds a lesson for anyone over 60. Strength does not always require complexity or cost. Sometimes it comes from a daily ritual, practiced with patience, that delivers everything the body needs in one small, fragrant bowl. The 6 essential foods in a Japanese longevity breakfast. Every morning, before the sky fully brightens, countless Japanese households begin the same gentle ritual. A wooden tray is set, bowls are placed carefully, and 6 small dishes are prepared. Each one looks modest, but together they create a balanced pattern of nourishment that supports aging bodies better than many expensive supplements. Let's walk through these 6 foods and why they matter. At the center is always miso soup, with tofu and wakame. We've already seen how this warm bowl brings protein, probiotics, and minerals in a gentle, digestible form. What's worth adding is how routine plays a role. By eating the same core dish daily, the body receives consistent nutrition without the stress of constant change. Western diets often chase variety for the sake of pleasure, but stability in food can be just as important for health, especially in older years. Next comes natto, the sticky, fermented soybeans that often scare newcomers. Its smell and texture are strong, but the benefits are undeniable. Rich in vitamin K2, natto helps calcium reach the bones instead of clogging arteries. This is a major reason why fractures are lower among Japanese elders compared to the West. In addition, natto's probiotics strengthen digestion, making protein and minerals easier to absorb. Think of it as an amplifier. It doesn't just feed the body, it teaches the body to use nutrients more effectively. The third dish is a soft-boiled egg. In Japan, it's never oversized or smothered with cheese. Just one egg, warm and carefully cooked, delivers complete protein and essential B vitamins. For seniors, B12 in particular is critical because deficiency can cause nerve damage, balance problems, and fatigue. A simple egg may do more for daily strength than an entire box of processed cereal. It is also easy to chew and swallow, something older adults sometimes struggle with when eating tougher foods. Rice comes next, the steady companion of nearly every Japanese meal. Sometimes it is brown rice for fiber and minerals, sometimes polished white rice for easier digestion. The important detail is the small topping, sprinkle of sesame seeds with a touch of sea salt. Sesame adds magnesium and healthy fats that help muscles relax and contract smoothly. This combination turns what many dismiss as just carbs into a reliable source of lasting energy. Unlike sugar-laden pastries, rice releases energy slowly, keeping blood sugar steady and avoiding the crashes that drain strength. Then there is tsukimono, or pickled vegetables. These might be cucumbers, daikon radish, or sour plums. They wake up the palate with crunch and brightness, but more importantly, they aid digestion. Fermented or pickled foods increase saliva, stimulate the stomach, and prepare the gut to process the rest of the meal. For older adults, whose digestive systems often slow down, this small dish is like a spark that keeps the whole engine running smoothly. It's a reminder that food should be pleasing to the senses, not just filling to the stomach. Finally, the sixth element is mujika, roasted barley tea. Unlike coffee, it contains no caffeine, so it does not upset sleep or raise blood pressure. Instead, it offers antioxidants and supports circulation. The warm tea in hand signals calm and safety, reducing stress hormones that otherwise break down muscle tissue. Many Western seniors lean on coffee as their first drink of the day, but swapping even 1 cup for roasted barley tea can make mornings gentler on the body. What ties these 6 foods together is balance. None of them are large, none of them overwhelm the plate. But when combined, they cover protein, healthy fats, fiber, minerals, and hydration. They also engage every sense: warm and cool, soft and crisp, salty and sour. This balance not only feeds the body, but also creates satisfaction, making it easier to avoid overeating or turning to processed snacks later in the day. Another lesson here is intentionality. Preparing 6 small dishes takes time and care. That act itself becomes part of health. Slowing down, arranging the tray, and eating with gratitude lowers stress and improves digestion. In many ways, the Japanese breakfast is not just about the nutrients, but about the mindset it builds. A rhythm of patience, balance, and respect for the body. Contrast this with the typical Western breakfast: a bagel eaten in the car, sugary cereal poured into a bowl, or nothing at all. These habits feed convenience but starve the muscles. The Japanese model proves that you don't need a huge meal or expensive foods. What matters is balance, rhythm, and quality. Even starting with 1 or 2 of these dishes can transform how the body feels. Imagine replacing a sweet muffin with a small bowl of miso soup, or trading orange juice for barley tea. Over weeks and months, those choices accumulate. They strengthen digestion, improve balance, and protect bones and muscles. For someone after 60, these changes may mean the difference between relying on a cane and walking freely without fear of falling. So the 6 essential foods are not about tradition alone. They are a roadmap to longevity, showing how thoughtful nutrition at the very start of the day can preserve independence. If food is medicine, then breakfast is the daily prescription that keeps the body resilient, steady, and strong. The way you eat matters just as much. In Japan, eating is not treated as a race to finish quickly. It is seen as an experience that shapes both health and mindset. Seniors there practice a principle called hara hachibu, which means stopping when you're about 80% full. This simple habit protects digestion, prevents bloating, and keeps weight under control, all of which matter more as the body ages. How you sit also makes a difference. Many older Japanese still eat at low tables, keeping their posture upright while their legs fold gently beneath them. Sitting tall supports the lungs and core muscles, while slouching compresses the stomach and slows digestion. Even if you prefer a chair, keeping the spine straight and the breath steady during meals can improve how well your body uses food. There is also the rhythm of the meal. Instead of shoveling food in large bites, the Japanese tradition favors small bowls and chopsticks. This naturally forces slower eating, smaller bites, and more mindful chewing. By doing this, the stomach has time to signal fullness, and enzymes begin breaking down food efficiently. Seniors who chew thoroughly often report less bloating and more stable energy afterward. Another overlooked practice is gratitude. The phrase "itadakimasu," spoken before meals, translates loosely to "I humbly receive." It is a moment of pause that lowers stress and prepares the body to accept nourishment. Western science now shows that stress hormones like cortisol can interfere with digestion and muscle repair. A calm, grateful mindset at the table is not just cultural, it's biological medicine. Eating slowly also supports circulation and reduces inflammation. Quick meals, heavy in processed food, often leave older adults tired or uncomfortable. But when food is eaten with patience, the body has time to absorb vitamins, minerals, and protein without strain. Some studies even show that mindful eating improves insulin response, something critical for seniors managing blood sugar. Small rituals after eating matter too. Many elders in Japan rest for a few minutes before standing, allowing the meal to settle. This prevents sudden dizziness, supports balance, and lowers the risk of falls. In contrast, rushing off immediately after finishing can strain the body and reduce nutrient absorption. It's a reminder that digestion is not just about what happens in the stomach, but also about giving the body space to process. The tools themselves shape the meal. Small bowls, chopsticks, and modest portions encourage careful eating. In the West, oversized plates and forks can make overeating almost automatic. Simply downsizing the utensils or serving dishes can subtly change behavior, leading to slower, healthier meals without forcing strict rules. The bigger lesson is that food is not only about nutrients, but about rhythm. A body that eats in harmony, slowly, calmly, and with awareness, absorbs more, wastes less, and stays stronger for longer. Especially after 60, when every nutrient counts, the how becomes as powerful as the what. So tomorrow morning, even if it's just a boiled egg or a bowl of soup, try to eat it slowly. Sit comfortably, breathe deeply, and give thanks before the first bite. That small change can help your body trust the process again, paving the way for real healing and strength. Common breakfast mistakes people over 60 make in the West. One of the biggest problems is skipping breakfast altogether. Many older adults say they just aren't hungry in the morning, but this habit quietly drains strength. After a night of fasting, the body needs fuel, especially protein, to repair tissues and stabilize blood sugar. Without it, muscles are left empty, and the day begins with weakness rather than energy. The second mistake is leaning too much on sugar and caffeine. A sweet muffin, a bowl of sugary cereal, or flavored yogurt may give a quick rush, but the crash comes soon after. Pair that with a large cup of coffee, and you've created a cycle of spikes and drops that leave the body more tired than before. For seniors who already face slower metabolism, these swings make it harder to maintain balance, stamina, and mood. Another common issue is choosing foods that are hard to digest or poorly absorbed. Heavy cheese dishes, processed meats, or even cold milk can challenge the aging stomach. As stomach acid decreases with age, nutrients from these foods often pass through without being fully absorbed. That means even if protein is present, the body may not use it effectively. I once heard from Mrs. Collins, a 72-year-old from Denver, who thought her daily breakfast of coffee and toast was light and healthy, yet she constantly complained of fatigue and leg cramps. Once she replaced her routine with a warm egg and vegetable soup, she noticed more steady energy and fewer painful cramps. Her story is not unusual. It shows how small changes can restore strength that seemed lost. What makes these mistakes so harmful is how subtle they are. Skipping a meal here, grabbing a donut there, or relying on coffee as breakfast may not feel serious. But over months and years, the damage builds up. Muscles shrink, balance falters, and independence is lost. All because the body was never given the right fuel at the right time. Science strongly supports the need for a morning meal rich in protein. Studies show that protein consumed early in the day helps muscles recover from the nightly fast. It also improves blood sugar control and reduces inflammation. Seniors who eat protein at breakfast are more likely to maintain muscle mass and avoid frailty as they age. So, what can be done? The solution is not complicated. Start small. Start warm. Even a single boiled egg, a small bowl of rice, or a cup of miso soup can send the message to your body. You are nourished. You are safe. You are being rebuilt. You don't need 6 dishes like in a traditional Japanese breakfast. What matters is giving your muscles and mind the right foundation. Of course, change takes time. Many people are attached to their morning coffee and pastry. But remember, it's not about giving them up completely. It's about adding what the body truly needs first. Once you feel the difference in energy and strength, those old habits often fade naturally. The lesson here is simple but powerful. After 60, breakfast is no longer optional. It is the most important opportunity of the day to protect your independence. The foods you choose can either speed up decline or give you the strength to walk, move, and live fully. That decision is in your hands every morning. If you are over 60, the way you start your morning matters more than most people realize. Muscle loss may feel like an unavoidable part of aging, but the truth is, your body still responds to care. Even in your 70s or 80s, the right food, eaten slowly and with intention, can bring strength back. It does not happen overnight, but step by step, bite by bite, the body learns to trust itself again. I have seen too many people believe that weakness means the end of independence. Yet, that is not true. The muscles that carry you can be rebuilt. A warm bowl of nourishing food, taken with calm and gratitude, can give the legs stability and the hands steady control. This is not about luxury, but about daily choices that honor your body. Doctors often focus on numbers like blood pressure and cholesterol. Those are important, but they don't always tell the whole story. The quieter truth is that muscle is the real foundation of aging well. Without it, falls increase, recovery slows, and daily life becomes harder. But with consistent care, protein, minerals, and mindful eating, you can protect the independence you value most. You may ask yourself, isn't it too late for me? The answer is no. The body adapts at any age. Gentle movement, paired with a simple, balanced breakfast, can reverse years of decline. Food is not only fuel, it is medicine, and how you eat it matters as much as what you eat. That awareness can transform not just your mornings, but your entire outlook on aging. So if you feel weaker today than you did 10 years ago, don't give up. Begin tomorrow with one small change. Trade a pastry for a warm egg, swap coffee for a calming tea, or add a bowl of soup instead of skipping the meal. Each choice tells your body, I believe in you, and I want you strong again. The message is simple but powerful. You are not too old to rebuild. You are not too weak to begin. After 60, 70, or even 80, a new chapter can still open. The first step starts at your table, with the food you choose and the care you give yourself. And that beginning still matters.